What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and we kind of missed a couple weeks here and there, but we're back with Chaos Theories. This week's we're doing ghosts, demons, ghoulies, and goblins. We're going with the poltergeist, and we're taking houses with us. As always, we have our fine connoisseur of shit cutters, Mr. Chaos Math. Always admire a nice turd cutter.
Up, guys? Yeah.
All right.
Oh, boy. Yes, sir.
Yeah, booties and Call of Duties. That's what we about up in this bitch. Booty and Call of Duty. We are going to go ahead and talk about something that we both stand somewhere along the same lines of, in ghosts. This is going to be a really controversial topic because ghosts are one of those things that a lot of people believe in wholeheartedly. Like, you cannot look at a person and go, ghosts do not exist. The first thing they'll look at you and say, I've seen one. How many times you've had that conversation?
Yeah. Oh yeah, almost everybody knows somebody who's seen one or felt one. But you're right. You know, this is one of the, I'm going to call it a myth just because of where I stand on it, but it's probably the most widely believed supernatural myth there is or ever will be. I think solely based off of the fact that if you're at all religious, then the concept of a ghost or spirit is completely acceptable and part of your beliefs. You know, like that you believe that spirits exist, so therefore ghosts is not a stretch at all. It's just
something that float around in
part
the
of the universe.
I think it's more of a placebo effect, almost like what they called vivid dreams, lucid dreams, lucid dreaming. All the people that lucid see ghosts, dreaming? I feel it's an example of lucid dreams. Like, I had one recently, like this year, and I got up out of bed and I started doing my normal routine, and then something happened. Like I think somebody broke into the house or something, and I was scared to death. And like, it's just when I got to the peak of the dream, I woke back up again, and I still was in the dream. And I said, like, I'm awake now, and then boom, the burglars are still there. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta wake up, and you kind of lose track of where you're at. Are you dreaming or you're awake? And you question it inside the dream itself. And ghosts could be an manifestation of beliefs in a lucid dream.
Well, okay, but I'm interested to hear what happened. What did you do? I
actually was just standing in the hall.
Did you just wake up?
Both times I was getting out of my bed, and I was walking down the hall. And the reason, it's going to sound strange, the reason I knew I was dreaming the second time was because normally when I get out of bed, the first thing I do is go to the bathroom. It's like clockwork. And I'm like, I don't have to use the bathroom. I must still be dreaming.
Am I dreaming?
It sounds stupid. It's just something little that you catch in dreams.
Okay.
No.
So
there was like two of them. I can't fight.
What did you do? Dude,
you realize you're in dreaming, so you expect me to be like Freddy Krueger at that point. It's like, all right, motherfuckers, it's time to go down.
Yeah, bro, that's the point. That's what I looked at. Here's the thing with, I'm going to sidetrack us real quick, but if there's anyone who could benefit from it, there's nothing better in the world than a lucid dream. It's for me, it's like the holy grail of you can do anything you want to do. A lucid dream is when you realize you're dreaming, but you don't wake up. And at that point, you basically become Neo because you realize that you're not
jacked
bound
in the Matrix
by
no
the
more.
rules of the waking world. You're in there, but you can do what you want. Like I said, you're Neo. A lucid dream, once you realize you're dreaming, and if you're able to not wake up, usually 9 times out of 10, if you say, "Oh, this is a dream," your brain will stop the program and you'll wake up, or you'll switch to a different dream. But if you can manage to stay in it, you can do whatever you want. I've only had 2 in my life. I think I've mentioned in previous episodes, I'm one of those people who remembers all their, not all of them, but I remember dreams from every night, and I remember dreams from when I was a kid and stuff like that. Only 2 times have I ever achieved a lucid dream where I was able to stay dreaming. And the first time, the one that I remember the most, I flew. So I realized, I'm dreaming. Let's fly. And it's amazing how realistic it felt. But man, if you could ever achieve that, if you realize you're dreaming, try not to wake up. Try to stay in the dream.
I couldn't wake up.
Basically do whatever you want.
So, you start doubting yourself at that point. But
I would have pulled a BMG 5000 out of my pocket at that point.
Ghost.
Hell yeah, dude.
Ghost.
All right, so anyway, back to supernatural.
I feel like lucid dreams are the big manifestation of ghost and ghost stories. Because everybody says they've seen a ghost, and here's the thing I always wondered. When you see a ghost, they're normally wearing clothes. Why would a ghost even bother having clothes on?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, for one reason or another, they just didn't transition properly. Correct. And so, when you see them and they're wearing clothes or whatever, it's because it's this projection of them, at the point that they died before they were able to transition to wherever the hell it is they were going.
Yeah, but wouldn't a ghost be a spirit?
And that's why you see them with clothes on and stuff like that.
Correct. So, you're born naked. Why wouldn't a ghost be naked? I mean, clothing doesn't have a soul, so clothing couldn't be you couldn't have a pair of Jordache jeans rocking it in another world.
Jordache. Dude, 1986 wants its dungarees back. Did you just say Jordache? They even fucking make Jordache jeans. How old are you? What are you, 26, 27? Shit, what were you, 4 when the last pair of Jordache were manufactured? That's with a horse, right? Dude, I remember girls in 7th grade wearing Jordache.
Well, the fact is, the corduroys and the Jordashes, they died off in the 80s. What? Yeah.
Why are the ghosts wearing pants? Yeah. Why is
or
they
I know
have
where the hell that came from. I actually looked that up.
It's not like the old school British version of the ghost.
I don't understand the whole chain rattling in the ghost. The chain rattling was basically to instill fear, but I feel like it's 100% a movie prop at that point.
Some sort of, I don't know, I just think of some sort of 17th century Britain.
The rattling chains, I guess it's from Britain in the dungeon. People that died in the dungeon. Yeah.
Died in the dungeon in chains. Yeah. That could be it.
But ghost itself,
in the tower.
It's horrible. Okay. How about these people that ghost hunt? You ever seen this mess? It's popular on TV. You got ghost hunters, you got the international ghost stories, you got hotel ghost stories. There's probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, and they got people and they got GoPros on. And they're going into dark buildings.
Look at this orb right here, and then it looks like a speck of dust flying across the camera lens.
Right,
and then they got things that measure, what is it? Electromagnetic pulse.
That's
Scientology.
Some sort of Scientology equipment.
Basically,
right
it's EVP, isn't it?
What, EBP? Is that
I don't know. I think it's the EVP monitor or something like that, where they basically measure the the electricity levels in area. But everywhere they go and they get readings, they're near electronics in the shows. There's a ceiling fan in my room. I'm pretty sure it would get a reading.
They're all charlatans. If you ask me. Yeah, I think all those shows are kind of funny, but I don't think they're really meant to be taken seriously. I think that there's probably got to be a separation of what I was referring to earlier, which with ghosts being, spirits and souls, displaced souls, and then there's the whole paranormal phenomena with measuring it with scientific devices and stuff like that, and it's life force energy without a physical form, and it gets very pseudoscientific, but of course there's no proof of a ghost documented anywhere. There's just, you see video with some sort of anomaly on it that may or may not have been put in post-production on the thing or not, but there's no concrete evidence to my knowledge of ghosts. It's just something you think happens or doesn't happen. But it all has to hinge on the fact that, it's a soul. And one of my issues with ghosts is, well, there would have to be souls of every, so there'd be like ghost grasshoppers and ghost trees, and because otherwise you have to boil it down to, okay, what has a soul, which is, dictated by a Bible, or any religion has a classification of higher life forms that would have souls and ones that wouldn't have. So, I mean, some people believe in ghost animals, right? Like ghost horses and dogs, but then there's going to be another group of people, depending on how seriously maybe they.
Yeah, but this is going really deep into it at this point. If you believe in ghost animals and stuff like that, some people say that an animal can't have a soul because it's not self-aware. Well,
right.
Little babies wouldn't have a soul if you followed that kind of definition, because little babies are not self-aware. You're born at that neutral stage, that ignorant level.
No, they're not.
You can't talk. You can't do anything. All you can do is just natural body functions like pissing, breathing, and shitting.
Pooping ghost babies.
It is what it is. I remember when I was young, my pastor, when I used to go to Southern Freeville Baptist Church, the pastor got upset because somebody wanted to baptize their newborn baby. He's like, this will not save him from hell. And I remember making this big old spiel at it. Looking back at it now, it's like, well, he was right, but he was kind of leaning toward the wrong area. Did you ever see that documentary where they tried to weigh the human soul?
All right, so I haven't done tons of research on this thing. I'm sure I could spend the next 2 or 3 days, months, or years reading about ghosts. But one thing that seems to be apparent to me is that the idea of exactly what a ghost can do and the level of interaction that it has with people is and earlier mentions of ghosts or spirits or that type of stuff in earlier cultures, they didn't seem to be, the ghosts of today. The ghosts of today can talk to you. It can sometimes touch you, or you feel temperature changes, that sort of thing. And it seems like ghosts of antiquity were really just sort of visible spirits that you would see or maybe feel but not necessarily interact with. And so for me, that's sort of a red flag on the feasibility of the idea of ghost, is that if the story's changing over time and it's becoming more and more exotic, the respect that, it started out as something you see and now it's something that can talk to you, it's being exaggerated. We've said this in other myth videos before, where somebody, had a couple drinks and they stretched the story a little bit to make it more interesting. That's what ghosts look like to me, is something that started off as you would just see a remnant of a person, and then now at this point they're wearing clothes and talking to you and touching you and stuff.
Yeah, it's the mind playing tricks on you. And it's very easy to get the mind to play tricks on you. Just think about it. Do it right now. If you're listening to this point, do this as well. Say you're sitting down, you're facing your computer, you're facing a wall, or whatever it is. Just don't look in the room itself. Make sure you isolate your field of view to a corner or a wall. Now, picture or think about there's 3 ghosts behind you. Linger on them. You can almost feel them touch your nape of your neck. Blah, 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 blah. I bet you money right now your hair is standing up on its hind end. And that's the way it works. It's a placebo effect. It's like sugar pills. They tell you they do the world, but they don't really do anything at all. It's like ginkgo biloba. Remember ginkgo biloba?
Ginkgo wasn't. Oh yeah, it was one of those magical herbs that everyone was chowing down, and then they found out it would shrink your balls or something.
It was a memory herb. It was supposed to improve.
Oh, what's the one I'm thinking of?
Your short-term memory.
Fen-Phen? Do you remember that?
Yes.
That was bad for you though. People were getting fucked up from that.
Ginkgo biloba would improve your short-term memory, and then the doctors are like, "This doesn't do shit for you."
Or ginseng.
Yeah, remember? Ginseng. Yeah.
Arizona came out with the ginseng.
It's just pharmaceutical company. I mean, like poison companies come up with this. Like, what's some of the poison things? Like, ant killer with hyperatricide.
Or just DEET. That shit's bad. DEET, right?
Yeah.
That's the big pesticide they use for mosquitoes and stuff now, but telling you, they're gonna find.
There's something wrong with everything. I just did a commentary recently about weed and how somebody said that, you know, the paper and the wrapping that you go to roll a joint with can cause cancer.
Sure.
And so I brought out like the UK Journal, and I'm like, technically physical exercise can cause cancer.
Oh yeah, roast beef will give you cancer.
I mean, everything gives you goddamn cancer. You can't live your life fearing cancer. You either get it or you don't. I mean, if you live your life sheltered, you're never going to live a life to begin with. What's the matter if you avoid cancer by eating like a certain like segregated point of food? It's the same.
Let me ask you this: do you believe in demons? What do you think of the idea of demons, possession? I remember we did a Chaos Theories 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I showed you a little girl that her mother basically pimped her out. Like she fell into a coma after falling into a pool at the age of 3, and she ended up living like till age 15 or 16. Oh, yeah, right.
This horrible coma. And her mother would take like fried greased chicken oil and like rub down Jesus' face as statues and look like Jesus was crying. Some type of oil, and she became really, really popular over that. I feel like that in itself is a form of possession. Like she's trying to say that Jesus possessed her child and was looking over her and wept for her condition. But in the same time, it's showboating. It's just like people talking in tongues on TV. Mm-hmm. You know the reason tongues doesn't sound like nothing, it sounds like gibberish, because it is gibberish.
Yeah. Oh, there's like some of those. Yeah, I don't even know like what denomination they are, but I know that there's some of those deep south snake charmer sort of ministries that are really fringe, and yeah, they talk in tongues and they get all crazy, and the laying on of the hands and all that sort of stuff where they're like, come closer and feel this, and they like, you know, then they push them back and they fall down and they get up and they've like miracle cured. And
you're talking about Peter Popoff now.
Yeah, well, that's the sort of feels like the same sort of thing to me. Is like,
that's what Peter Popoff made popular, where he's like, "This man has never touched the ground with his own feet. He's been in the wheelchair 45 years.
Yeah, this man has diarrhea every damn day, and I'm gonna take it away.
That liquidy diarrhea, the Lord's gonna sop it up.
The Lord's gonna take it all away. He's gonna take that poop back.
There's no more diapers for you, my friend. Come give me a hand."
Yeah, I mean, that's what...
You're not a chain to the porcelain demon anymore.
That porcelain Satan.
Yeah.
But yeah, possession, yeah, that sort of stuff where people are like, they were clearly possessed by the devil. Like, no.
It obviously is possessed by the devil. But here's the thing with demons. Like, why the hell is a demon always considered a monster? Why is it always monster size?
Right.
It doesn't even define what a demon looks like. You automatically assume.
It doesn't, but it doesn't even make sense to me, and here's why. I mean, again, demons are a byproduct of religion and religious lore, right? So what is a demon? Is a fallen angel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why would they look any different than an angel? I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that, like, when they decided to follow Satan and they left the upstairs for the downstairs, that it like disfigured them, or they went through, like, you know, in Star Wars where the Emperor was like, ultimate power, and he starts frying Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
And his face starts melting and he goes from looking like a normal guy and then he looks like shit. He looks like the Emperor when he's done. Like, you know, is that what we're supposed to believe happened? Is, you know, they decided to leave
the Archangel suddenly become Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, right. They're like, they turn into
I have satanic power. The angels will burn at the gates of St. Christopher.
And they have to hang out with Hayden Christensen, endure his terrible acting for all eternity. What a fate. Anyway,
Palpatine's a pimp, though.
He was a badass. Yeah, Star Wars sidetrack. Nice. Excellent. It's so about supernatural beings talking about Emperor Palpatine's fall from grace. But, possession and demons and angels and, I mean, that's all part of this whole supernatural soup that we're talking about.
The reason
here.
we're throwing the angels in here and the demons is because these are two things that people claim to see all the damn time. You know, angels come to me in the shower as forms of light. Angels, help me get up a cliff. A guardian angel stopped the bullet from me.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of angels will appear in a spirit form, right? They don't necessarily like the TV show variety where you can sit down at a coffee shop with them.
I mean, the whole idea of angels in itself is the same as ghosts. Lucid dreams. Maybe you did a lot of heroin and then you seen you an angel. What about those soccer moms that seen angels? Or I think I chalk a lot of that up to for example, NASA One. I don't know if you remember him, NASA One. He's a YouTube guy.
Yeah, I know who he is.
He had a car wreck about a year ago. He wrecked his new Honda Civic, and his passenger was his girlfriend, significant other, and she was pregnant with his child. And he flipped the car, so on and so forth. It was a really bad wreck. And when he got back out of the hospital, he's like, I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me and my baby alive. And I'm like, you're thanking Jesus Christ. Why don't you thank the engineers at Honda for creating such a safe car?
Well, people who believe in religion are gonna.
They don't believe that doctor that spent 15 years that actually mastered that technique of surgery that maybe put that splint in your heart. He has nothing to do with your life still being here.
Well, that's a different topic. But, I mean, I guess I see your your connection to ghosts and stuff, but, somebody watching over them that's a pretty integral part of religion, so,
Yeah, the guardian angel is like a ghost. I mean, it's like a ghost. Some people claim ghosts watch over them. You've seen that mess?
Ghosts watch over them? Sure. Oh, yeah, that's a popular part of the whole idea.
Ghosts are very territorial too. I'm noticing.
Well, they usually hang around where they died.
So wouldn't the hospital be the most haunted place in the fucking world?
You would think there would just be a shit ton of ghosts flying around.
Turn CNN.
I know, you wouldn't think about it. Every single room in the hospital would have 50 ghosts. Because if how do they get out of there? So people just, what do? They die in hospitals. So say you're in the ICU, right? So a lot of people die in ICU. It's where you go and you got really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So how many people are dying in an ICU? Every room is going to have hundreds of ghosts all pushed up with their ghost elbows next to each other.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, but they're scrunched up with the ghost elbows. That's a perfect thing. It's somebody should do a comic strip on that. This ghost shit might not be real.
Yeah, I mean, it's much easier to buy the whole mansion with the daughter who fell down the stairs and broke her neck and now she's forever floating around in the foyer, instead of hospital rooms packed with ghosts packed like sardines in there because people are dying every 2-3 days. But okay, so let's say this then. We don't think it's real, and there's no evidence to support that they are real other than faith-based evidence. Correct?
That is correct. There's no tangible evidence to prove that ghosts exist.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna call this one a myth.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. Ghosts are bullshit. Throw them in there with the Loch Ness Monster and Sasquatch.
El Chupanibre, the
Chupacabra.
Yeah, the stink monkey. We haven't even done the stink monkey.
What the fuck is a stink monkey?
You never heard of the stink monkey of the Jacksonville, Florida, the Everglades?
Get the fuck out of here.
The Everglades has a stink monkey.
The Everglades has their own
Sasquatch called the stink ape or something like that.
A smelly ape?
Everglades might be the wrong place.
Right.
Stink ape is a North Carolina. I'm sorry.
North Carolina?
It's called the skunk ape.
Oh, I think I heard Onslaught talking about that once. I'm just kidding. He's from North Carolina.
Yeah, that's the skunk ape.
Yeah, he's popular in the Charlotte area. There's stink apes running around everywhere. But no, that sounds ridiculous. A stinky ape? I get comment section, enlighten us. Some. I'm sure there's an expert on this.
I'm sure there's like a silverback gorilla they got out in a zoo somewhere.
And what? He had gas?
I don't know. People that claim to get around the skunk ape, they can smell him for like miles.
Maybe he just needed a fucking bath.
Maybe he needs to find his way to a river in North Carolina.
You know how you have like monkeys and their asses always look wrong? Like it looks like there's something wrong with their asshole.
Yeah.
Like it looks like somebody punched it. It's like this giant fleshy mess. Maybe
Maybe it's because they fling shit too often. They stick their fingers up it all the damn time.
Stop scratching your ass, you stupid monkey. Look at it. It's a mess. Leave it alone.
Ooh, it looks like a pussy after a 30-man gangbang. Come on now.
All right, here comes the old. Somebody just yanked us off stage with the old loop around the neck.
All right, guys.
Talking about apes bungholes.
Somehow we got sidetracked between ape bumholes and Emperor Palpatine on this one.
Star Wars and monkey butts. Nice. Always a pleasure, Wings.
All right, buddies. See you next week on Chaos Series. Leave suggestions.